Okay, this brings us to our first interactive session, okay? So this is your time to start contributing now, to start presenting the views and ideas that you would like to see happen in the world as a people. Okay, so the first exercise is really to look at our shared goals. What are the shared goals that we all believe in, that we all want to see happen in this world, and basically we want to see put in place? I'm just going to read the exercise out to everybody now, and I'll hand out one of these handouts so it's just there as a reminder. Okay, this is your world. How would you like to see humanity behave as a people? What kind of vision do you have for the world and how it can be when humanity works together as a people? Okay, so your task is to list down as many unique global humanitarian goals that you would like to see humanity put in place. For example, world peace may be one. Directly addressing poverty might be another. Not just something we get around to in maybe 30, 40 years. We do it now as a people. Converting to 100% clean energy technology. Whatever it is that you want to see happen in this world as a people, you'll be listing down your ideas. Okay, the one decision factor here, though, for each table, and this is an opportunity for anybody as well that wants to come down from the actual balcony at the top, because we do have some free spaces here. You're welcome to. For each table, the one decision factor is you must all agree. So as far as your goals go, it's not consensus-based. It must be a complete and absolute consensus between all of you. So if somebody says, I want to see world peace, and someone says, no, I love wars. Well, that's not going to work. All right. I've asked a few people, just in case it's required. I mean, I think everybody in the hall today, I think, has shown some great positive energy and a lot of enthusiasm. So I don't think it'll be too much of a challenge or an issue here anyway. But if your table, for whatever reason, has difficulty finding a consensus on some ideas that you think are very clear, and you've heard a few ideas this morning that you might say it makes perfect sense to us, let's actually do that. If you have any difficulties there and you think, well, you know, we've got 7 of us that seem to agree, 1 of us that doesn't necessarily, you're welcome to ask for a mediator, somebody to come along, because we don't want to see any good ideas left out of this. That's also why you have a feedback form. If you feel like any ideas are not being listened to, pop it on the feedback form. But we want to see those ideas in that middle table. They represent your goals, your dreams, your hopes for a better world. Okay, so what are your shared goals? I'm just going to hand out these handouts now to each of these tables. And anybody in the balcony, if you want to engage with this exercise with us, feel free to come down and sit at one of the tables, or you can do it online. Are you going to film it from out here? You don't want to... Yeah.
Well, there's 2 free cams going around. I'm just getting an extra angle.
Okay.
Very important.
So it's about the big things.
If you present things because they never had the money to engineer things.
An element of the molecular form of
I trust you to get what people think is reasonable. They'll get more money and save a lot of people up the especially when someone's given.
I said. To create
live without food. It's possible because it's all energy.
Okay, everybody. Time's up. what we want you to do now, take your list, nominate the one person that's got the list, who's been doing all the work. But the person who's actually got the list, could they move to the center table and take the chair related to your table? Okay, so take your ideas, the person who's got your list, move to the center table.
You can zoom in far enough to get the same aspect.
We are a little bit behind on schedule, so we're just going to keep this exercise nice and simple in the center table. So we're looking at the idea of taking individual consensus from all the individual sectors of society, all these humanitarian sectors around the room, bringing that consensus into the center, and then looking to see if there's a general consensus that we can achieve from all of these different areas. But I'm hoping that we kept the goals simple. Because the more detail there is in there, that's when you get into issues without understanding exactly what that goal means. Anyway, we'll hand the microphone to Social and Family here, and all I'm looking for is just a simple goal that you feel you wanted to achieve as a people. Read out one of those goals. If anybody else on the list had a list of those goals, just basically tick it off. So just one of those goals.
Okay, so we come up with a world without borders, so the right for anyone in the country to go, anyone in the world to go wherever they want to and live wherever they want to.
Okay, so what we're asking for is if everybody at the table actually agrees with that, and you're looking for an actual consensus around that idea too. If you, humanity, were united as a people, would you agree with that idea? Can you just read that one again?
A world without borders.
Can we see like a hand consensus just at the table? I'll vote for that as a goal. As a goal. What we're trying to just show here, though, is just a general consensus for shared humanitarian goals. That's it. So like I said, just as a simple example of what I'm trying to say, who in the world would like to see an end to poverty? Just raise your hand. If you're in this room and you want to see an end to poverty, raise your hand. All right, simple, typical consensus from the room that we want to see an end to poverty. Who would like to see peace and obviously goodwill and happiness for all people in the world and an end to wars? Consensus. So we're looking at simple ideas, very simple ideas here. And as Jim says, you can discuss it beyond this point, but we're looking for that general shared consensus. That's all this exercise is designed to try and show. We'll see how we get on with basically a few more of the ideas, but choose an idea in your list that is simple, okay? Very, very simple.
So in the lifestyle table, we came up with common respect / listening as a common goal.
Do you guys agree with that?
Common respect.
Just give a raise of hands. Yes. Okay with that? Right, fantastic. Pass the microphone.
Yes, the one we mostly agreed upon out of lots of them was global education and awareness about the environmental crisis and how it can be tackled. So that was the most significant of the list. Yeah, can we all agree upon that? Because I don't know. There you go.
Yeah, that's fine. Just the simplest one you can find on the list.
The first that's on the list is common values.
Finding out common values.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's something we're trying to do here. Simplest one you can.
Coming out of the idea of a world without borders, And since we've got resource management on our table, we thought maybe, obviously the resources need to be managed by agreement. So we need some sort of committee that can decide how to manage all the resources that we have without plundering Earth's sources.
Yep, fantastic. Right?
No, I don't agree with committees.
Okay, you guys can just discuss it later.
As simplest, I guess, where food production would be broad stroke alleviate hunger, but we did say through sustainable and accessible food production with a view towards future generations.
Eliminating hunger.
Yes.
Do we all agree with eliminating hunger? Yeah. The room, eliminating hunger? Yeah. All right, let's do it. Next.
So we're the education group, and what we want to do is to promote a new value system based on access to free, high-quality education that enhances the capabilities of individuals to achieve what they and their communities value.
We were the economics table, and our overall goal was worldwide equality as a goal, but also preservation and enhancement of local autonomy and local power.
Fantastic. Does the room agree with that? Yes. Does the balcony agree with that? Okay, next.
Well, our group represents health. And our goal is to achieve perfect health and longevity via the elimination of disease and stopping the aging process as an end. So we call upon the allopathic medicine as opposed to complementary or holistic health that should allow inclusivity of holistic health rather than exclusivity. Thank you.
Okay, that might be a bit long to... We'll revisit that one.
Collaboration group. An acknowledgement that all life is interrelated.
Okay, fair enough? Yes. Okay, that's it. We don't have too much time for this. Okay, remember the whole point of this exercise was simply to try and show that as a people we do have shared goals and values. And if we keep those shared goals and values quite simple and basically concise, we can usually find a very common ground by which we can actually all work together. It's when we start going into a lot of detail that things start getting fragmented and it takes a lot to sort of like overcome those different psychological sort of approaches in the way we actually do things. But keep the goals simple, keep the goals concise, keep the goals basically common to our humanitarian values. It's quite easy then to find common ground by which you can work and focus on achieving your goals. Okay, can everybody please take their seats again back where they were, and we're going to introduce our next speaker.